Welcome back to Soundcheck. I'm John. This is Soundcheck, where we talk about all things audio under this little channel called Learner to Learner. It's a collaborative learning channel where we get all the audio enthusiasts and professionals come together and learn about all things audio. Earlier, you were watching Rodecaster User Meetup. That's a sister show. You can also check out that show. That's 1 hour prior to this. To join the show, you can also be doing what you're doing in the chat, participating in the conversation in the live stream chat, but you could also click on the link that's in the chat that I just pasted it in there so that you can join us as a panelist. You can go to the website, and on the website there's a button where you can click call in with Zoom. You click on that, you do a little quick registration with your name and answer a few simple questions just to prove that you're a human, except for Rafael. Then you'll be able to participate in the conversation with us. Let's say hello to everybody. Let me see. We have 5 people on camera, so I'm going to switch to this 5 people. Okay, until we have Cindy Lou come back. Welcome back to Soundcheck. Sean, Rafael, we have, oh wait, you know what? I have another thing. Let me see if I can do that. Can I turn on names now? No, I can't. I don't know how to do it. So anyway, Rob, and we have Athar is also here, and Nee joining us. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Oh, wait. I forgot to turn your microphone on.
Yeah, it's a real sign.
Nice.
I had it printed up, and it took like 3 tries before they got it right because their ink wasn't set right, and so they had to.
The green looks special, so like a special green.
It's more the camera how it comes across on the camera than anything else.
And so anyway, welcome to Soundcheck. We have some topics that I've jotted down that we're going to talk about, which is portable microphone system. Oh, wearable. It's not just portable, like wearable microphone system. In fact, as I was thinking about how excited I am to be talking about all the wearable microphones lately that's out there in the market, something not wearable, but very portable and also wireless that came out today by Shure was the Move Mic 88 Plus. I'm going to save that conversation for we can maybe talk a little bit about it, but I want to focus more on wearables. But
This came out today.
just came out today. Yes.
Oh, I gotta go look
Yep.
this up. I love new-
It's you might remember the Shure MV88 Plus that a lot of people like, and I also like. It's wired connection, or it require you to plug in, and the new Move Mic 88 Plus is now wireless. We'll talk about it maybe next time, since we want to talk about our wireless wearable, because I have one at work. I have the Shure, no, not Shure. I have the DJI Mic, Wireless Mic and Wireless Mic 2 at work, but I recently purchased myself the DJI Mic Mini, and I absolutely love it. Which is this one, which I should probably wear. I should, like, as you guys are discussing, I might actually switch over to that microphone. It's not going to sound like this, but
Of course it won't.
I will switch over and let you hear the difference.
Should I get my wireless Pro set up?
Yeah, why not?
Let me see if I don't know if I have the adapter here to make it work, but maybe I can do it through the iPhone port or something. Let's see.
Let's see. You know, it's nobody's here waiting for us to have, like, boom, cut to Rafael and he's ready. A lot of times, I'm doing it as we go, which is part of the fun. I think people.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, John. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
I think people. It's a lot more relatable. You know, it's not you're like cutting it so tight. I mean, not to say that's a bad thing, except we embrace that real-time troubleshooting. So sometimes I neglect to say too, if you want us to troubleshoot any sort of audio, if you hear a little hum, or if you hear something that's not right in your audio setup, and you want us to sound check you, feel free to do so. I do need you to get onto Zoom or Clubhouse, because I need the platform where we have our call to be good enough so that I can hear your sound as close to reality, so that we can give you feedback that is usable. Otherwise, you can go through like a Zoom noise cancellation, and we tell you, nothing to fix, sounds good, and then when you turn the musician's mode on, and then go to hell. So we need to be able to hear you as accurately as possible. Rob?
I do have a question that our friendly sound engineer Sean might be able to answer for me.
Go ahead.
Hey, do you ever have feedback from a 9-volt power supply? You know, the kind that you would run your chain link power to all your pedals. You know, your wall power
From the 9-volt, or is it plugged into the wall?
Yeah, the wall power, 9-volt wall power. Let me show you.
Oh,
If
okay.
you've
I
got
thought you meant a
dirty
9-volt
power,
battery.
then you can get that.
Yeah, I thought you meant a 9-volt battery, because the 9-volt battery wouldn't have. Yeah, those guitar pedals and those wall warts. Yeah, those wall warts are really, really finicky, and it really does depend. I'm sure you have one around, Robert, but if you can get one of those, there's these plugs that you can plug into a plug-in. It'll show you if the ground is right.
Oh,
It's got like 3 little lights, and it'll tell you if the ground in your AC power is not grounded properly. And
oh no, it's okay. It's definitely not that. But this thing is just like putting off this hella high, nasty sound. And I was just like, I just got this thing. I don't know why it's doing that.
well, guitar. So it's a guitar pedal you're talking about, right? That plugs.
Oh, this runs a daisy chain to all my pedals.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you have that one cable that plugs into one and then another?
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it in your hand. Okay, yeah. So is there one unit that's doing that, or is it all of them?
So this is the power supply that goes
Right.
to the daisy chain.
Right. And then, but are all of them having the noise?
No, when I switch this out and use another 9-volt, it doesn't do the sound. So it's just this unit, but I'm wondering why this is a brand new unit.
So you see right where your finger is, there's that little dongle thing on the cable. Just right at the end there, there's like a little on the other end. Right before the cable, there's kind of that little thing there. Yeah. So that's supposed to get rid of RF and supposed to get rid of the ground hum, but all cables are not created equal, as you guys were talking about with the mic cables even. And when you switch it out, if it's gone, there's a problem. What's the brand name on that?
True Tone, iSpot.
Yeah, and yeah, those might not be the best cable, but you know what? Just switch it out. It
Are you
might be
saying I need to put a magnet on there? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. I was just saying the connector always, especially with those type, the weakest point is always the part that's connected to the wall wart there. That's always the weakest part. So even though it's brand new, it might be already loose and the fact that the other cable doesn't do it means all your pedals are fine. And then you said, so it's not your AC power and it's not the pedals. So process of elimination.
Okay.
That's the weakest point of that wall wart would be that connector there. That's why they put that braid on there to reinforce it because they know it's the weakest point. So if you just got it, get another one.
Just take it back then. Yeah. Okay. So it's just a defect then.
Yeah, it has to be because
cool.
of all the possibilities, especially since when you switch it out, it works fine. So that's definitely it.
I thought I'd ask you since I just realized you know about my stuff. So
oh yeah,
thanks, guys.
He knows a lot about other people's stuff.
Yeah, I'm a mixing and master engineer. I'm actually a professor of recording arts. So just I'm here to help and learn.
Cool.
So I've switched over to my mic. Obviously, it's not the same mic now. This
sounds okay though.
Yeah, it sounds all right, and
sounds way different.
Yeah, of course, it's a different mic. Remember, we talk about mic placement and usage.
It's funny if I close my eyes, John, you sound 16, but when you put the other mic on, you sound like a man.
Now, of course, I can also speak like this, but this is not how you use this microphone. This is not why I bought this microphone.
Right.
So, so what allows me to do is I can at least turn and do something, and my voice won't go away from a microphone. So it has its usage. It has its usage when I do unboxing. I will wear this microphone, and I also use this microphone specifically for when I am out and about doing usually live streams, TikTok or Instagram live streams, where I now, especially with my Insta360 Flow 2 Pro that I have, where it can track me use 360 degrees, so I can be talking about things. And if I'm at a resort or whatever, which Sean has witnessed audio wise, I'm in a resort in Malaysia, I would go out and do stuff. So now I can use the camera of my phone, live streaming it to anywhere I want to with my Insta360 Flow 2 Pro that will track me. But then if I step away, I won't sound good without a wireless microphone. So, which is why I didn't go with the DJI Wireless Mic 2, even though I like it a lot, because it's too big for me. It's a little too heavy for me. So so this one has the muff on the medium wind muff on there. I'm not sure if John was referring to this wind muff to see if does it make a difference. Not in this current situation. Yeah, or dead cat. It's so small, it's probably like a dead mouse. Wait, I don't hear you, Rafael. We do not hear you. Okay.
There. At that size, dead mouse.
Yeah.
More or less like I'm
going to have to try to get this audio set up differently.
Take your time.
A dead flea.
A dead flea?
A dead kitten. Because the cats are the bigger ones.
I was sharing this story with some of my friends. We were talking about dead cats the other day, and I was in a film production with about like 5 kids, and we were shooting a film in the backyard where we have to mic the kids. So we were asking the sound guys to go get a dead cat. Oh, no. And the kids hear it, and so they're like, where? And one girl started crying, and so we have to call it like the dead squirrel because they don't like squirrels as much as cats.
Did your Apple training kick in?
I don't know. I don't know what kicked in, but anyway. So to answer John's question, yeah, the DJI Mic Mini dead mouse is I was referring to. Yes, so it's not that hard to put on. At least I don't think it is. And Clubhouse people, I know Ray and Jason just come up on stage. We'll come to you.
John will just buy the new Shure mics. They're great. The Move mics.
But it's not wearable. I mean, it's not meant for it to be a wearable. That's why I want to reserve. No, Move Mic. I was talking about the 88 Plus, not the Move Mic 2. So I don't have to, but occasionally I would breathe into the microphone. That's why I have this on. When I'm outside, I definitely want the dead cat on there or that mouse. But typically I don't. However, I also do occasionally, I've been trying to hide I prefer to hide my microphone inside my clothes, but it becomes more cumbersome because your clothes would
sorry to
rub up
interrupt.
against
That's what's great about some of the other ones, like the RØDE Mic Wireless Pro, is it comes with the wireless, not the wireless mic, it comes with the wired mic. And so, like, I mean, even now, I have mine hidden just right under my shirt here. You can't hear it. I'm still trying to get
how's the clothes wrestling on that, though, Raf?
It's not horrible. I mean, you have to be careful, of course, like any lapel mic, but it's just a matter of where you set it up. I've used it in vlogs, walking around in different cities, and it's never been a huge problem, but it's never been like, oh my gosh, the perfect sound. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, and that's true. And same thing for the DJI Wireless Mic as well. You have a microphone input where you can plug a lavaliere microphone or lapel mic to attach to the clothing. That's not as big as trying to hide like a microphone.
John,
but,
you got to switch back, man. It's really.
Is it bothering you? And so
no, because I'm used to you. Same as you. I'm used to you.
So
we miss you.
But what I like about this is it's so small, and in fact I thought about like starting the show. If I start soundcheck first, I probably would have started with this, and then it's not as jarring because you're just hearing what you're used to hearing me all the time, and then suddenly hearing this. But if you're watching me live streaming, walking somewhere and wearing this, it would not be as apparent the difference. But what I'm trying to say is because it's so lightweight, it doesn't drag on my clothing. I'm starting to forego. And of course, if you want to, what John Lowe was saying, removing the muff and see if it
it's a windscreen.
So, can you guys hear me?
So
Yes.
which one do you like, John?
Yeah,
So-
it's
like
coming
the
through,
new
but it's
one,
coming through
or
like a
you
very
the one,
Bluetooth
the
kind of sound.
lavaliere?
Yeah, what mic you on, Nee?
It is. So I'm using the DJI, like
Is
the
it
same
2?
DJI mic.
Is it
Yeah, the
mic 2
DJI
or-
mic 2. Yeah, the mic 2. But then I'm running it through the. Obviously, it's going through Bluetooth, like Rafael said.
No wonder you sounded like you're on Bluetooth.
But what I like about this is, though I may be sounding like I'm on Bluetooth, I can actually record internally with this one. So even if my audio cuts out or my Bluetooth sounds terrible, it's still getting the actual sound.
But when
this
you're live
comes with
streaming, it does not matter. It still needs to sound good.
Yeah, but
Yes,
in a
but-
professional, the whole situation thing, man. Like you need to have the extra backup recording, otherwise you're screwed, bro.
But so with the DJI Osmo Pocket 2,
And
it
you're
has
Sean Loudney.
because I got it like pretty close to my mouth.
Maybe move
right
a little
now.
bit further, which is why using the right microphone with the right purpose is very important.
So
Because-
actually, this is how I use this microphone when I'm recording. I clip it up to my head over here because usually I'm always
Clip
wearing
it
a
here.
jacket or something.
Yeah, because if I
Clip
were
it on your
listening to
forehead.
headphones, it'd be like,
Clip it.
No,
clip
no,
it
no,
here.
no,
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 I
so-
just want to hear the difference. Clip it here. I think
Okay.
it'll pick up your voice better.
oh,
if
it's mono anyway, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
So if I clip it
Yeah.
right
Oh,
on
yeah.
my
Better.
It's way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
like yeah,
It
so right
sounds
on my-
better. But yeah.
Yes, but then when I'm using it on the
But
Osmo,
what growth do you
Osmo
have
Pocket-
on your forehead?
Yeah, it sounds better, but it looks really
Okay,
good.
how about now? Since I took up the
Yeah,
I took
a
up the
little
wig
bit
more.
yeah, yeah.
You know what?
don't
If
look
you
like
put
you're
it
gonna
right
go
on
Right
one
smack
of the
in the
sides
middle.
of your eye, it would be like an eye patch, and we could just call him Pirate Knee.
Let me
Looks
see.
like you're gonna be a miner or something.
But are you guys able to hear me now?
Now
Is
we
this
can,
working?
yes.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay, so
hear me
this is
now?
Little low
Rode Wireless
volume, but it
Pro.
sounds
I would clip
smooth
it
and
right
clean.
next to your neck. I would clip it right next to your t-shirt, right at your vocal cords. That's where I would clip it.
You have to actually be a little bit careful with placing it in that specific spot, because if you're placing it right next to the vocal cords, you're going to get some, exactly. If you place it a little bit more in the middle of your chest, it's not going to be perfect. However, it will give you a little bit more of an open sound. But for those who wear hats or glasses, kind of like what Nee was doing before, if you actually can put your lav mic up in that kind of spot, up like right by the corner of your eye, you're actually going to be doing great. Even what's his name, Adam Savage from the Mythbusters, when he was doing his live shows, he actually for a while had he probably still has it, a pair of glasses that were custom modified with a microphone in the corner of it, because it was always going to remain the exact same distance from his mouth, and it ended up having some amazing results.
I want to join the team. I want to join everybody using my little microphone.
So John, what was the thing with the lavaliere microphone and the the lavaliere? Because I have the lavaliere. And,
so lavaliere is just a type of microphone, lavaliere or lapel mic. It's just this little tiny mic and then it has a cable where you can plug into a transmitter. Or a recorder. So
and most of them are Omni, which is not necessarily good.
Which it's the same type of microphone as what the built-in microphone is for what I'm wearing right now, and so now you're hearing a lot of like noise of futzing without audio. But so your question about how. Comparing it's actually, to me, it's the same. Like position wise, it's just a little bit easier to handle when you have Rafael's situation. I'm gonna actually put you larger so you can actually show Rafael. You can show us where your microphone is hidden. So it's hidden underneath his shirt, and then that is attached. The cable is then attached to the transmitter, which is right here, and then that transmitter is
all right. Don't give too much away, sexy.
Look at these pros. It's not like they practice.
Oh my God! Don't give too much away, sexy.
That's because we've been doing this for way too long. I'm so glad you guys are back. These are like a bunch of Clubhouse folks plus more. Like Rob found me on YouTube. And I'm sure there's the same 6 people still watching. Hello, same 6 people. I have somebody said something. I'm gonna look at
no.
the
So I connected
saw
it.
Gary Vaynerchuk with the little mic on, the little one that you like. I saw. Gary
this one, the DJI Mic Mini. I don't know what he uses.
The little one that's like the pen. I saw Gary with it on. And I was like, okay. It's going towards the future.
Is it this one, the DJI one, or is it just a small mic? Because we're going to talk about the various different ones out in the market also. In fact, before I bought the DJI Mic Mini, I actually got the Lark M2, the Hollyland Lark M2, because to me, my sole purpose of getting a wireless microphone is not to do this show, for sure. My purpose is to do live stream. So I don't need internal recording. So I don't need that backup recording. So I want it to be light and small. And so the Hollyland Lark M2 was a perfect fit, and it's cheap. And then when I saw the DJI, I changed my mind. I kept my Lark M2. I bought the DJI Mic Mini and tested out the 2. And I can tell you, I like the sound of the DJI Mic Mini just a hair more. Not that much actually, but the main purpose is the dead mouse. It's the wind. What do you call it? The windscreen. It's the windscreen, because the Lark M2 windscreen is like this big. Even though the microphone's like a quarter and very thin, when you put the muff on, it's like that big. And it's really hard to put on. When you try to slip it into the windscreen, you might accidentally press button like activate noise cancellation or something, the button's on there, and then because it's inside the fuzzy muff that you don't see the light, so you don't know what's on there. So after you put it on, if I have to, every time I put on the windscreen, I have to be worrying if I don't accidentally press something else. I just don't think it's for me. I think if somebody who does not need to be using it outdoor, it's perfectly fine. I tested it; it sounded great. If it's even lighter than my this thing. Oh, I guess I don't have to get that close now. I can go
And just
that
to
far.
let you know, John, it is called a windscreen because I grew up in Europe, and the word muff means
I know it's something else.
Completely different here.
Maybe that's why we want to say it, so that the
all
algorithm
depends
pushes
on where
up.
you are in Europe.
This is true.
Anyway, so and remember last week, I don't want to, last week we talked not last week, the week before, the last time we spoke about this, I said that there's a setting that I learned from somebody that I found to be helpful, which is it comes with noise cancellation for the DJI Mic Mini, sorry. You can have like the low and then like the high noise cancellation.
How does it sound?
It's okay. So it's actually it's not horror. It's not like, it doesn't make you sound like a robot. What you're hearing. You think it's what?
I think it's a little bit robotic, or maybe it's on the DJI.
Yeah,
Mic
maybe
too.
so. The DJI Mic Mini, there are two levels. What you're hearing is the low level. I have it on, and when I have it on, it takes just a little bit of the room tone, because it's not like up close like when I use my SM7B, right? So you pick up a lot more of the room. I do have a little bit of a noise gate on here, but when it takes that slight room tone off with just the low noise cancellation, it just makes it sound that much better, that much cleaner, especially if you're comparing from like the microphone that I use in the studio. So I can't remember what channel I was researching, and I saw that, and I thought that little tip was very good. So turn the low noise cancellation on, just so it would, when you're indoor, especially if you're getting some of your reverberation of your room, because your mouth is not right up next to the microphone.
The only thing I don't like about
just bad joke. Bad joke.
I thought it
Sean
before you
was
said
talking about before.
Oh, the muff. That's why I need to turn on the threshold, lower threshold, because you all make me
get right up and close.
Yes. Anyway, Nee, you were gonna say something, Nee.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I wish they had added how to call it to it in the software. You could go into the software to do any of the tweakings to it. Like when you go into the Mimo software, the only way I could adjust my volume is when I have it connected to my Osmo Pocket 3. Then I could go ahead and increase the volume, the gain on the microphone, and also either hit the low pass, is the high pass filter on a satellite at 75 or so. That's the only way I can do this. And how does this one sound right now? Because I connected it to a cheap lav microphone.
Yeah, it sounds better.
And it's like right on my chest, like right in the middle over here.
Yeah, it sounds better. Yeah.
It still sounds like it's over Bluetooth, but it sounds like I can hear you.
So the mistake that I did also, okay, so just for anyone listening, don't go cheap like I did. Instead of me getting the transmitter and the receiver, right, I only got the transmitter because I have the DJI Wireless. I said the DJI Wireless, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
Which we're going to talk about next week.
Yes, which I bought the combo pack. I bought a combo pack so it came with a microphone, and I needed a second pair of microphone. And I regret doing this. Instead of me just getting the receiver and the transceiver both together, I just went.
You can still buy. They sell the receiver and one unit, or you can buy the receiver plus one unit and then separately the recharge case as well. I mean, it ends up being a little bit pricey though.
That means I'm gonna end up having 3 microphones instead of having two microphones.
No. Well, wait. No, but you have one DJI Mic 2 right now, yeah?
No, I have two.
Oh, you have two. Oh, so then in that case, whoa. Oh.
Okay, so the live stream people won't see it. Just Zoom people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Two and a bunch of balloons came up.
Yippee. Yeah, that was something right there. Seeing myself with balloons everywhere. Anyway.
Oh no, I have the reaction.
Yeah, the reaction.
Yeah. So when I go like that, or I go.
Yeah. Now you guys know that it's only showing for the Zoom people. You guys are seeing it. Like the live stream does not see it. So I want to talk about let's talk about what Sean was referring to about your Bluetooth connection. So because I know I was going to use this microphone. You're not hearing this microphone. You're hearing my SM7B.
No,
and
I'm shocked.
I am. They were like, "Oh, I'm going out to buy that DJI Mic Mini." It sounded like a Shure SM7B. So what I did was I reached out to their tech support because I was trying to find on the internet how is the connection, what is the bit rate or the how much information is being sent via Bluetooth when you're connected using Bluetooth. And I'm not sure if it's the same as the DJI DJI Mic Mini, but it should be close.
Do we know which version of Bluetooth? Is it the latest one as well?
I don't know what 5. I think it's 5 or new, but
yeah, because the latest one is marginally better, but it still sounds like Bluetooth.
So it's 16-bit, 16 kilohertz. So it's transferring at 16 bit,
and it's probably mono.
Of course, yes, it's mono, and that's the specs that I asked. In fact, when I use chat to talk to DJI, they do not have the information to say, we'll take the information to our engineer and we'll email you. So they email me the information. They say, when iPhone connects to a research for the show. Okay.
No, that's great, man.
Because I want to, I'm curious to find out. When iPhone connects to Mic Mini transmitter via Bluetooth, it depends on which iPhone model they say. Otherwise, the supported Bluetooth protocol may be different. But what they're saying is, generally speaking, iPhone deal with the audio Bluetooth at 16-bit and 16 kilohertz. So what we're hearing is probably about that, and that's why you can hear it.
Sure.
As opposed to if you use the transmitter, it will be at 48 kilohertz at 24-bit. So 24-bit and 48 kilohertz, as opposed to using Bluetooth, 16-bit and 16 kilohertz. So that's why we can hear.
That's why you don't use Bluetooth.
It's not like we can't hear you. It's just that it won't. You just know that it's not the full potential sound quality.
So next time, what I'm going to end up doing on the next live stream that we come on, I'm going to connect my
receiver.
No. I'm going to connect. I don't have a receiver. I only bought 2 transceivers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You just said that.
Which I said was really dumb about me. But what I ended up going to do is I'm going to use my Osmo Pocket 3 as the receiver, because when you're in webcam mode, you can use those microphones to stream and then see if that has a different sound to it.
Okay, I did ask that question too. So I asked that question. Upon confirming, they say when connected to the Mic Mini, I mean, again, I'm talking about the Mic Mini, not the DJI Mic 2, but I would assume it's similar. Because I always wanted to find out. I think I mentioned that I'm sure, especially to John Lowe, I'm sure when you connect your DJI Mic Mini to a Pocket 3 or the other DJI cameras that's compatible, I did get confirmation that it is in 48 kilohertz and 24-bit. So they have their own proprietary, using the Bluetooth connection, but a proprietary connection to send audio. No, sorry, I said it wrong. It's at 48 kilohertz, 16-bit. So it is a little bit less, not 48 kilohertz and 24-bit. It's at 16-bit. 48 kilohertz. So Bluetooth is still Bluetooth. just like Shure, I was talking to not talking to, as if I was having an interview with Laura from Shure. No, I was watching a live stream and I asked a question to Laura from Shure, and they do the same thing. They did not give me a number, but they did say it is better than directly connecting your microphone to an iPhone, for instance, using the Pocket 3 and the DJI Mic Mini. Gives you a better connection, a better quality audio at 16-bit instead of 24-bit. Well, instead of 48 kilohertz instead of 16 kilohertz, but they're still at 16-bit, which makes sense because it just does not have the bandwidth to send that much information wirelessly using Bluetooth. So that's, I'm sure it will sound better. I'm not sure if we can hear the difference. Maybe Sean can. So I'm curious.
I heard
next
it right
week.
away.
Next week you can, but he hasn't tried it with the Pocket 3 yet. So when he comes in with the Pocket 3 connection, which will give him, even though 16-bit, it is going to be at 48 kilohertz. Maybe it makes a slight difference.
Yeah, I can hear those differences so much, John. Like I told you, I'm mixing my album right now, and I'm mixing some big record label projects for artists now too. I can't listen to Spotify anymore. I had to switch the Tidal. Like I can't listen to Apple Music or Spotify. I can't because it's affecting. And and then I go into the studio and it messes you up. So it's interesting for the layperson. I love that it's 48, and Raf probably that's why, because most people are gonna be using it for video. So that's good that the sample rate's 48, but 16-bit will still
still hear it.
Yeah, it's just that's still CD quality, and I'm still delivering major label projects at 44:116 to the distributors. I mean, they use higher to back up, and
the reason why we're talking about this way is because this is Soundcheck. We're picking on something, we're talking in great details and focus and zoom in on that. And we understand in your use case, I'm not saying that, oh my gosh, don't get Osmo Pocket 3 because it's only 16-bit.
Yeah, but John, if you record, you can sync the files after the fact. And then you get the proper, just lossless audio all
not
recorded.
with the
that
Mini
little piece right there, man. You're missing the whole thing.
Yeah. With the Mini,
it's the problem with you live streamers.
I know
exactly.
With a Mini, you cannot.
Oh wait,
do
what
that.
what mic are you using?
Okay, now since we tested portable microphones,
you have you're using a
microphone that's like 10 feet behind him.
I know.
My microphone is
above you.
Yes, it's above me. It's a webcam. It's my instant.
Oh, it's a webcam.
My instant.
That's horrible. I don't care if it's 24-bit. The mic placement is.
It's actually, he's making a really good point, because if you've got a horrible signal, it's going to be a horrible sound. It's actually a really great point.
My webcam.
Oh wait, Sean's webcam.
Yeah, how's that?
That's horrible.
Right, exactly.
Actually, it's not the worst.
Well, we can hear what you're talking about.
No, my room is flat, so the webcam's right here.
Do I sound like this when I'm on my this? Do I sound like that? Am I? Do I sound like that?
Let me go back.
Yeah, you sound flat. Now that's the real.
But do I sound like I'm on my webcam right now?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very roomy, a little thin.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: is this coming through at all?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
I just kind of put this together. It's just from my camera.
Well,
can you make sure that it's coming from there? Tap on it.
Speaking into the wrong end. Yeah.
Am I? How about this side? Is this side working?
That's the front. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I always thought it was this side.
No. Now we're here.
Oh, is it this side?
Well, it sounds like it's an Omni.
Wait,
is it Omni or
tap on it?
This side.
Can you tap on it?
Yeah, it's Omni. It's Omni.
Okay.
It's Omni, so it's the same.
All right. I like it. Hey, it sounds pretty good, man. Pretty good for a homemade lavaliere mic.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying
John,
wearable. Small does not mean it's the lavaliere.
John, quick thing that might actually be worthwhile as a test.
Yeah.
You've got your SM7B there, and you've also got your little lav mic. Why not? Because in this day and age of social media where these microphones get misused and people will hold them in the frame, why not do a test where you just put your little lav mic on top of your SM7B to hear the difference for people who might be listening in at home?
Okay, I will. Can I clip on? Maybe I should. Wonder if I can put the magnet.
Okay, I have a
on the
question.
inside.
Now we're getting phasing.
It's actually,
I love the phasing too.
Wait, now I'll do it one by one. Then I'll do it one by one. Okay, so you all can probably see. I heard you, Ray. I'll come back to you. So you can see it connected. Obviously, it's a different type of microphone. I have to EQ it a little bit differently. It's a little bit too like high.
What's the pickup pattern on it, John?
This is an Omni, the DJI Mic Mini. So now this is. The position is a little different. Obviously, it's no longer on my chest now, and I'm going to switch over to my
just to let everybody know, but before we started all this, how many years ago, if I asked John that question, he'd be like, "What? What are you talking about? Pickup pattern on the mic?
Oh, yes. Well, I probably knew, but I'm a lot more articulate these days.
Well, no, I can just say
you've grown.
Exactly.
I have grown, which is why I encourage you, because I want to have a place so that audio discussion is not only for people already with the knowledge and already know about audio, because you all know, it's probably worth sharing that story once again, because when I was learning audio, I've always been learning. I've always wanted to learn audio. And during the shutdown, the COVID time, on Clubhouse, I asked that question to somebody about my Rodecaster Pro OG, where I wanted to bring stereo signal into the OG, and then I couldn't figure out why I couldn't do it. And he just said, "You don't need to know anything, just so it won't do it. You just can't." I was like, "I want to learn. I want to know why I can't." He said, "You don't need to know." So, and I hate
How'd that make you feel? How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel like he's better than me. I am not smart enough to learn something new, or he does not have the patience to deal with me because I need more time to learn what I need to learn. So learning is the focus, not ego or not showing off how much you know. It's getting people to understand it. And sometimes we have to also tone down or tweak the language. I like to use proper terminology so that we can, when you start learning the terminology, you can use it correctly. But at the same time, I will be the person that holds your hand, because I'm the one who did not know, and I still don't have a lot I don't know, but I'm curious. And so learning with me is more fun. So come learn with me. Anyway, so this is the microphone switching back and forth. This is I have to EQ it differently. It's a little too harsh for my ears.
Yeah, a lot more mid-range,
yeah,
lot
but
less
because
low end.
when it's on your chest, you kind of needed that. You know what's cool is
it picks it up from your chest bouncing
yeah,
inside.
because there's a lot of resonance down here. So now it's not as sharp, right? Or it's not as crispy. But the magnet will actually stick on the cage of the SM7B.
Yeah, it's going through that. So there's a word we have in post-production, intelligibility, usually of the lyrics, and when I'm doing radio and podcasts, intelligibility of the speech, and it's all kind of in the mid-range. So back to using proper words. So John, the SM7B has got a little bit of a low bump. It's smoother, but the other mic, right away, because it's supposed to be consumer-based and friendly, right away the low end's gone, and the mid-range, the intelligibility, it's probably 4K-ish, is really upfront. And that's the whole point for people who have no idea what I'm talking about. When they just put one on, it's like, oh, I can hear you better.
And I also EQ
it.
I also EQ it that way. So I'm gonna play with the EQ a little bit now.
Well, you probably want to add a little bit of bass to it just to get it heavy. But the intelligibility difference between the two, it's right there because it's probably built in to it. Because that's usually where
this is probably a little bit better now, closer.
Yeah, a little weight
sounding,
a little weight to it,
a little bit more heft. Now that I lower it, so this is, if I want to, let me move it out of the shot a little bit. Now
and the intelligibility is still there, so the blend.
Rafael,
of the two
now it sounds like I'm using the SM7B, right?
Like, actually, here's the thing. I was thinking, you could actually start out an episode like that
and not
be
tell
like,
anybody.
ha ha ha. Just pull it right off.
No, I just did that very quickly. I think if you spend some time EQing it, you get it closer. It was EQ for the usage of it, like down here on my chest. So now I have.
Oh, that wasn't flat? Was it flat?
Right now?
No.
No, it was not flat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what was all mid-rangey. Okay. So we don't know how it sounds flat.
We'll listen to it now. This is flat. It's actually not too bad. It's actually quite good. This is flat. This has nothing at all.
Okay, yeah.
It's usable.
No EQ.
That's definitely usable.
That's pretty good. It's not, because before it was just all mid-rangey. I thought that was the flat.
How about if I do this? I will put it on my chest and you guys help me tune it. Okay, I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, put the muff on your chest. This is bringing me
back to the old broadcaster days.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is flat. I'm gonna get it.
He's putting the muff on.
Add some more bass in there.
Or should I take the muff off?
Yeah, because the muff will change it slightly.
Yeah, it changes the high end and the mid range. Well, that's a good point for everybody to know, and I'm sure Raph, you've gone through this too. The windscreen and even these are only for when it's windy. Like if it's not windy, because it does affect the intelligibility I was talking about.
Yeah, you have to know what your tools are and when you need to use them. And it's not just that you're using a windscreen on there, but like why? And what is the trade-off by using it? Because even using this, what I've got on mine, like I cut out some sound that I would much prefer have, but at the same time, I'm not crazy about plosives. So that's the trade-off there.
Well, here's another interesting thing. And I love that the new MV7s, they actually extended the windscreen. It's not the exact SM7B, but people, the new MV7s, they have a longer, because anytime, Nee, if you have both, you could probably show them both. Or that's a new one. Yeah, it's a teeny bit. So it's a little bit more of a gap from the top of the capsule on the new ones. Because I have the original MV7 and I would tell people when they buy it to go and buy the SM7B and just put it over and it works. But what's happening is there's a lot of people going on Amazon and they're seeing and buying a clone of this and not the real one. And it was so thin that it really didn't do anything to the sound or even made it sound worse. But when you get the actual windscreen for the SM7B, there's a reason you get that sound on top of the capsule, and the distance is the actual foam. And to Raf's point, is it actually is kind of pleasing where it that intelligibility range I talked about, it actually smooths out a bit. And if you have like a cheapy version of this, it doesn't. So or even if you have a clone, or if you have an SM7B not with an original windscreen, the sound just isn't the same. Obviously you can EQ it, but it does make a difference.
Okay, now I'm ready. So what do you want to hear more or less? This is flat. And more bass.
Yeah, a little teeny bit more bass.
Okay. All right, more bass.
Well, even just a smiley face, a little teeny bit highs, because it's kind of there's a bump in the mids right now. It's kind of muddy.
So this is pumping up the sort of mid low and a bit of a high. Testing 1 2 check, a little high. Is that
so? The mids enough? Or should be lower in frequency because it's
let me show you.
Muddy.
I can show you. Hang on. I can
show me.
So this is the mic that I'm currently working on. So this is what it looks like now.
Drag those mids down one drop more.
So and I can also
start flat. Start flat, John.
Okay, so this is flat. This is flat. I can also sweep.
Well, no, that's not flat because
This is flat.
Is it off? Well, because the AFX still has the bass in it.
There's
a delay in what we're seeing.
This is with it off.
Okay, so put it
Equalizer off, and this is as flat as I can get it to be.
Okay, so I got magic frequencies for you.
Okay.
So for the low 120, don't boost anything. Just type in the frequencies first. 120 for the low.
120. Okay, this is as close as 120.
Ish.
Okay,
ish.
Yeah, there you go.
Ish. When we're dealing with Rode, it's always ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
highs are gonna be 10,000.
Oh, wrong one. The bell is what you're. Sorry, I'm going to take that down.
No, forget about the gains for now.
So this is called the bell. It's the sweep of the frequency. It can 10,000. You said.
Yep.
This is 10,100. And then mid.
Mid should be 4,000.
Mid. Oh, I can't get there. 2,000 is the highest.
Okay, then 2,500.
No, 2,000 is the highest.
Oh, it won't even do that. So then 1,500. 1,500.
1,500.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, actually do 1,500.5. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so now start turning up the low. Give it 2 dB.
Test. This is, let me see, 2 dB. This is at 2 dB. My low is at 121.
Okay, and then the high go 1 dB.
High going 1 dB. This is high 1 dB. High at 1 dB.
And mid 1.
Up or down?
Up 1.
Okay, up 1. There you go. So mid is 1, high is 1, and low
mid should be
is 2.2.
Mid should be 0.5. 1's too much.
Okay, 0.5. This is mid is at 0.5 at the frequency of 1,500.
So take it off. Just go flat and then go back
off.
in.
Okay, so this is off. Everything off. A little muddier, I think. This brings back a little bit of clarity. Testing 1, 2. Does it sound like it needed more? It's okay. It's a little bit harder for me because what I'm hearing is I'm hearing myself. Because it's going through wireless, so there's like a slight latency. So you guys would have to tell me.
Yeah, so you just have to adjust the ratio of all those now. I mean, we can hear you. I maybe a teeny bit more bass just because it's thin.
That's what I want also.
Yeah, and a teeny bit more highs.
A little bit.
You might want to just leave
more bass. Is that too much now? Maybe balance it with a little bit of a high. Testing 1, 2. This is on my chest. The position on my chest, obviously.
There you go.
Almost starting to get a little muddy on my
right now,
just with that bass.
So maybe I'll lower it a little bit, like that.
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2. Is the bass better? Yes, Snee.
Do you know if you press where the low gain is and the mid gain is, you press it and hold it?
Oh, you can do smaller change. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
press
yeah,
and hold it down.
Oh, wait. Yes, I think I remember now.
No.
In bell or gain?
Yeah, no, in gain. Press it and hold it.
Then change into.
Now it changes that. That's what I used to use to
like
do my
that.
sweep. That's what I used to do my sweep with to get the right sweep.
Yeah, so the Q value, just for everybody to know, that's the bandwidth. So you got scalpel or butter knife. And it's reverse as far as size. So the lower the number, you'll get the butter knife. And the higher the number, you get a scalpel.
Higher number, scalpel, as you can see over here, sharp and pointy. And then blunt when the number is low. I think typically it's low Q. It's set to low Q.
Yeah, because when you're boosting, typically you want the butter knife. And when you're cutting or attenuating, then you want the scalpel.
Okay. So maybe I should.
It sounds more natural when it's butter knife.
So technically, I would need everything in butter knife if I'm boosting?
For voice, yeah. Unless there's one little thing that's annoying.
That you want to
get rid of.
Pinpoint a specific frequency.
Right. So when you're attenuating or getting rid of something, you go scalpel. And that's a higher value.
So yeah, there you go. Good tip, Nee. I remember that, but I don't know what it is. I never use it.
Yeah, so the
scalpel would be this.
It's called Q. It's called Q, but most people, you can refer to it as the bandwidth. So that's just how wide the filter is. But again, for vocals, you want to go wider because it's smoother. When you're boosting, you want smoother, wider Q.
It's even affecting my other.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you go too wide, then you'll get more muddiness.
Maybe I should
in that 200 to 300 range.
Like if I don't affect the mid that much, does it still sound okay?
Well, it's getting really muddy now when you get too wide, right?
It's actually not as wide. The previously was 0. It was like low at like that.
Yeah. Okay. But so that's what you just want to listen for, is that muddiness as you go with a wider Q.
Wait, how do I get it back? I just press and hold again. Okay, yeah, there you go. That becomes gain again.
Yeah.
Um,
And again, just to, I'm assuming, so what you're looking at too, John, what everybody's seeing is from left to right is low frequencies on the left, and then you sweep up to right frequencies,
right.
Higher frequencies on the right.
So this is, what did you say that low number was again? I messed it
120-ish.
120,
yeah.
okay.
And the reason I picked that is just because if you're using a wider cue, the butter knife, that's kind of the area. And when you go wide enough, you can get some of the 50. Now you could go thinner and then dial it in but you wouldn't go below 100 because not even Barry White was below 100 as far as where his voice was.
Okay, so so approximately there, do I want to mess with the cue setting at all? Like make it narrower?
Well, you can, but now you know what you're messing with and what you're hearing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! It actually does a little bzz, little haptic. But
anyway, wait.
Let's get to a point where you guys think it's passable. It's okay that it does not sound
that's smooth.
Too much
That's
like
smooth right there. What you're doing, and we would probably want a teeny bit more intelligibility. So either the highs or the mids need to come up.
Do you want to play with the Q value on there? Like that. So, and then when you go up, that's I'm sorry, I'm messing with the wrong one. Would you say 1500? Yeah, 1500. And then I'm gonna get out of the Q. Oh, what was that? Was that me?
Like maybe
it sounded like it potentially.
Sounds like a phone notification.
Yeah, I don't know where did my unit.
Now I'm getting mixed plus.
Busy signal.
Is it me?
You called somebody.
It's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe did you hit the pad?
Oh, maybe I hit the. Did I hit the pad?
Well, anyway.
Anyway, that's not it.
That was the pad.
That was the.
There it is again. Yeah, busy signal.
The time allowed for you to dial has been exceeded.
What was that? I have no. Does it tell me?
Are you getting Zoom bombed again? What's going on?
I don't know. Where is that coming from? Okay. Anyway.
Well, also just one thing to keep in mind with all of this EQ that we're doing here, because of the type of microphone that we're kind of working with, that you'll also be getting the room tone, and you're getting some of that now. So some of the reflections that you're kind of getting will kind of mess with these.
Someone's phone's on, man.
Yeah,
Raf's right. If you go to a different room, it's gonna
right. Because I only use this microphone here, so it wouldn't. My gosh.
Somebody's phone.
It's mine. It's mine. I don't know where it's coming from though.
And if we want to get really in the
I know where it is.
If we want to get really in the weeds, Raph, the humidity in the room will affect the high frequencies as well.
Yeah. Well, then also depending on you can get even further. Theoretically, altitude can change aspects of how the mic will be affected by the
air pressure, the lack of air pressure. Yeah. The lighter.
Okay, sure. Let's get me to a point. I figure out what the noise was. It was my Bluetooth speaker.
Of course.
Don't know why I was doing that, but
trying to call the Apple Store, call them back home.
Oh wait, sorry, not compressor. Equalizer. Is that okay? Enough? Can you hear me? Okay. I mean, obviously, there's still a room.
Still a little boxy. So.
It sounds like there's there's monitors in front of him. That's kind of what it sounds like that it's coming from.
Yeah, the reflections. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it could also be because there's a lot of flat surface. If I step away, does it sound better?
Whatever you did just now made it smoother.
Yeah, because it's so essentially I'm stepping away from my setup.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Because I am sitting in front of my monitors
really
and
good,
everything,
actually.
right?
It sounds really good, actually.
Wait, do you have a drop ceiling in there?
My back?
No, do you have a drop ceiling in your
on
room?
your ceiling? Do you have acoustic stuff on the ceiling, or is it flat?
Like, is it like a ceiling to make it lower than it actually normally should be?
Yes.
Okay, because you're getting a little bit of that sound in there as well.
Yeah.
There's a specific tonal quality that has.
So if I move away from all my monitors because it's bouncing, whenever I'm
You're
speaking,
getting brighter as you get closer to
it's
the
bouncing
monitors.
back. My voice is
Yeah.
bouncing back from my monitor because my monitor's over here.
Is your Shure microphone still on?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, if
Now
you're
it's on.
projecting into those flat, hard surfaces, it's just going to come back into the microphone and start changing the way things sound.
Plus,
Yeah, phase cancellation.
The reason, well, so I think we'll leave it at that, and I'll continue playing with it. It's a little bit harder for me to tune because I'm also hearing myself in my ears that is slightly slower, like it's slight latency, because of the wireless transmission. So
can you adjust that?
No.
With these mics, it's usually built in that it's a specific kind of number.
It's
because
not
of the
bad,
Bluetooth.
but it's not bad. It's actually not using. It's using the 2.4 gigahertz right now because I connect it to my receiver, but it's just not like how I would typically monitor myself. But anyway, all I wanted to say is I rarely use this microphone, but it's fun to play with it and learning about EQing and that surface thing. It's just like you said that there's like something bouncing back. If the closer I am,
phase cancellation. Yeah.
It's bouncing back, and the more I step
sounds
back,
like it's bouncing in front of you and then up towards the ceiling, and like
then
you're
back
it doesn't sound like you have a very thick carpet. It sounds like it's like there's some carpet but very thin.
Yes, correct. Very good.
So what's happening is you speak.
Wait, let me show that.
And the mic gets the direct sound, and then it bounces off the screens, and the mic gets that reflected sound, and then it's coming off the ceiling and coming back.
That carpet.
So when
I'm this close to my monitor, so it bounced back.
It's definitely the laptop screen. It's definitely the laptop screen. It's not the monitor so much.
TV screen.
This one,
like because it could be bouncing it up in front of him.
It's both
up to that, and then
this.
Well, I think actually
put a blanket here.
It's going monitor back of the screen plus the ceiling plus the screen. But it's called phase cancellation. So they're coming at different times to the mic, and sometimes they're multiples, and then it cancels, so you get kind of that echoey.
But Sean, what actually could work for you, and it might help, it might not help, it might make zero difference at all, but some type of shag carpet in like below where you're sitting could help a little bit. And even if you were to mount a carpet to the wall behind your monitors, it could make a slight difference as long as it's a thick one.
Yeah. If I use this microphone,
just use it because it's Omni, right?
Yes, and that is why I don't use this microphone except for when I need it to do something while I'm stepping away or something. For that's why some people ask if you ask me about using the right mic for the right environment, and people ask, is dynamic mic better than, people always ask, right?
Always.
Is condenser microphone better than dynamic microphones, or vice versa? In fact, I think most cases, most people think that dynamic mic is not as good as condenser mics. And
so there's, everybody asks that question, John, and a lot of them, they're asking the wrong question, because we were talking about this before. So a condenser mic's designed to pick up everything, and we use it in the studio to get detail, and what we were talking about earlier, that sort of articulation and that definition. And a condenser is designed to be very detailed, but it's designed to be in a studio environment, a good room with no reflections. And a dynamic microphone is designed not to be as detailed, but the thing everyone misses is the polar pattern or the pickup pattern of the mic. So if you have a condenser with an Omni, you're going to sound like you're in an oil tanker. It's going to hear all the cars going by and everything. But if you have a condenser with a cardioid pattern and you have a half decent room without reflections, you can still get away with a good sound for podcasts and stuff. It'll be detailed, but it won't be like you're in a tank, because your pickup pattern or polar pattern, same word, is on Omni. So if you get a condenser, if you put it on cardioid, it can still be good. Now, the reason I always suggest just get a dynamic right out of the gate is they're always cardioid, and right out of the gate, you got a dynamic, it's directional, it's always cardioid. The reason we like cardioid is it takes the room out of the equation more. But if you have a condenser with an omni pattern,
then your
it's
room
designed to pick up the room.
Yeah.
Omni is a circle.
The room is going to make so much more, it's going to affect so much more of your sound when
so if you get a
microphone is
condenser,
picking them all up.
If you get a condenser, that's fine. They're detailed. A dynamic is better because you won't have the option to pick a polar pattern. But even if you get the Blue Yeti, it's a condenser, but just put it on cardioid instead of omni, the default, and then you're good. So when people are asking cardioid versus condenser versus dynamic, one's detailed, one's not as detailed, but it's more about the pickup pattern of the microphone. And all dynamics that I know of, you can't change the pickup pattern. It's cardioid to begin with. So
you know what
we have a
you know what we haven't heard?
So it's the pickup pattern.
You know what we haven't heard from Athar at all? Sorry, we're so all over the place with this. But no, that was fun.
I am intently listening.
That was fun.
I'm learning.
I think.
Oh, you changed the position of your microphone.
Yeah. What's that?
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Did you notice?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, I adjusted it. So
yes,
hopefully that's a little bit better.
Even if you pull it a little bit closer, you're going to get a little bit better sound out of it. It's already better, but like you can still keep on going.
And Raph, every time I see his setup there, I'm like, why is the lamp on? You don't need to. As far as lighting, but
it's fine.
I'm always looking for.
I'm not complaining about it personally.
Yeah,
it adds a little bit more dimension.
Yeah, I guess so. But as far as lighting, it's like
it's not necessary, but it adds dimension to the space.
Light.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
You can put it back on. Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep that light on. You don't have to listen to Sean.
It's up to you, but I'm just looking at it. No, I love how it almost blends into the wall.
He did ask us for. He shared his your YouTube video earlier when he joined on Zoom for us to give him feedback. I did see that video. I think sounds great. I have some. We can talk about that offline, but you know, like the color and lighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a little washed out. Like if you look at Knee's picture, look at Knee compared.
Let me do it side by side.
Yeah, here you go. And then if you look at mine, like my lighting is completely perfect as far as the background. Like there's no shadows.
Well, even what can help is maybe if you lower your ISO. I mean, what are you using right now to get into your?
If you can, yeah. What camera are you using?
Wait, what camera are you using right now?
It's a Canon T6.
Oh yeah, you can change it.
Oh yeah, I would just if you can reach it, adjust the ISO just one tick down, just so we can see it.
Are you able to access it? Or is it like somewhere very difficult to get to?
It's kind of hard to get to.
Okay.
Okay, so then forget it. You can
check what number you have, and then
check with the lighting. If you can't, first work on the lighting. But if it were easily accessible, I would say the first thing I would look at is the ISO. If that ISO is really not making that much of a difference, or if it's making it worse, then go for the lighting. Because even what you want to think about is not just a light in the room, but where the light is coming from. Like right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 lights on in here. And I've got them positioned in places where maybe it's not perfect, but it's getting roughly what I want across. I mean, I still haven't redone my space. I need to, I'm in the middle of kind of moving and everything. So this is not a good example right now, but I'm highlighting this sign that's behind me because I want that shown, at least when I'm doing my normal recording sessions. And something like this doesn't make as much of a difference. So like theoretically, whoops, that's the wrong light. It's the wrong one. But let's see if I can get this right.
Just to let everybody know, I've talked to a lot of my clients about this because they're all doing video now, and now I'm doing editing their video.
Ooh, mood light.
But like for me, and if you Rafael know what I'm talking about, but I have 2 lighting panels right in front of me, and 2 of them. I probably only need 1, but I got 2 to get full coverage. And what our eyes see is completely different from what the camera needs.
Yep.
As far as lighting.
Yeah,
and I have my panels on 56K. It's perfect daylight. But when I look at it, it looks a little too bright for me. But my eyes don't need that. The camera lens needs completely different. And I'll see people with tungsten and brown. I'm like, no, it has to be white and at least 56K daylight. And then you can start working from there. But whatever and that's why Raph was saying, talking about your ISO, because what the camera needs is completely different from what your eyes, and even if you have a normal camera, and then, you know, when you do your white balance, right? Like you can see this is completely washed out, but I'm not washed out. I have even everywhere. Like even when I do that, my hand's washed out, but I'm not, right? Raph, you know.
That's I mean, also because this is one of the things, like with your setup.
For me to achieve that would be for me to adjust the ISO.
No, not necessarily. This is the thing with lighting is it's like there are various factors that all end up contributing to your final look. ISO, it could be at the right ISO now, but without going back and forth and testing it, it's a little tough to say. I mean, even theoretically, your what's it called? Your contrast could be something that you want to touch a little bit.
I was just gonna say that, Raph. Your blacks. So if you look at knees black, everything that's black in his frame, the mic, his hat, everything, it's a nice deep black. And in mine, it's the same thing. It's nice and deep. And Raph's the same thing. Look at his mic stand and his mic. The black is, and now look at Athar. Look at your headphones. It's not a deep black compared to ours, right?
Right.
So those are the things we're talking about. As far as the contrast, saturation, and all that.
It's all a different balance, because sometimes one thing can look like it's a light issue, but it actually could be a color issue because of how much color is making its way to the lens, or to the sensor rather. But the sensitivity of the sensitivity of the sensor starts with ISO.
I do see. Yeah, go ahead.
So it could be that you are at the right ISO as it is right now, but it's just because of the lack of contrast that maybe it's coming off as it's not actually. And it could be just in a very flat picture style. So if you're using that Canon camera, you do have the picture styles in there, and you might just shift it over to a different picture style. And that could take care of some of the issues that we're talking about right now, because you'll be able to adjust some of those things within a picture style. I mean, it's tough for me to say exactly what you're in right now, but
I was going to ask, how many lights do you have out there?
I've got 2, and then I've got a kind of a third that's just a room light.
So what I do is I start first with a room light, right? Also,
I just take off the room light always.
Yeah, I take off the room light. Like right now, I don't have a room light.
It's always tungsten.
Yeah.
Or something. Oh, that made a difference for sure.
Okay, so, and then your particle light that you have back there.
Yeah, it's washed out. Yeah.
It's washed out because I think it's too bright. So I'll start dimming it down. But then I'm going to start with the room lights, like whatever lights I have, and then start turning them on one at a time, and then see the effects that you like. I like this part of my face looking a little bit dramatic in the shadows, right? So my front light
because
is always the brightest.
You're coming down in front, but there's nothing underneath on purpose. Yeah.
So so you want to start playing with the light, and then when you achieve what you want, and then that's when I go into the camera also, and then adjust my ISO. I don't know if that's the right way. I'm not a video guy, but that's how I've always been doing it. And once I get it up to the way that I want, I just go ahead and leave it up like that.
And let's give Athar a positive. So your coverage, like the shadows, your coverage on your face is even and very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a positive there for sure.
Yeah. One thing I would say actually that you can do with that purple light behind you, if you move it a little bit further away from the wall, you'll get a little bit better spread, and you won't get that harsh point on the wall there. Even if you even if you take it away a little bit further and push it off to the side or in some other direction, you could potentially get like a really nice color spill. Like for example, if you look Knee's head is actually kind of hiding the hot spot behind him, but it's spilling out really nicely onto all of the other surfaces around it. So that's another kind of thing that you can take into account, not just where the light is directly hitting, but where are the reflections coming off of that? Because anything in the room that's white is going to reflect a color.
What's interesting
the Clubhouse
is,
listeners must
is
be
that,
loving this.
What's interesting is that
I have a YouTube link.
The colors actually coming out of the light are blue.
Yeah, it looks indigo to us.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
so
and this is again about the whole thing.
That's
with,
a problem.
What the camera sees and what your eye sees are going to be two different things.
Yeah, it is a sharp blue. But as I look at it on the screen and what we're displaying here, I see it
like a magenta, like almost like a purple.
It's a magenta purplish.
I thought Tim Purple was in the house. You know what I'm saying? I use a Amaron light, and that's how I'm able to adjust it. So then I don't have to be going back and forth. So if you have any that you can hook up to your phone and
I mean I do have this hooked up to my phone. Yeah.
So but I mean I like it. I like purple.
So Nee, what camera are you using?
Okay, wait. Can I ask Athar really quickly? What do you know what your color temperature is set at for your camera? Off the top of your head, is it like closer to daylight? So maybe I would probably start there and get to like a daylight setting on your camera.
Yeah, and then
I don't know if you actually really where needs to do that.
At least know where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you're not on daylight, sometimes you can tweak your color temperature to match, but some colors do not show up when your camera is overcompensating for the right color because your camera is set for tungsten light or more warm light, and then your light the accuracy doesn't come through as much. So at least start some point close to daylight, and then check your ISO also, as Rafael was saying, because I'm seeing your shadow is a little washed out, which means it might be too bright, or color profile could be another thing that's affecting that as well.
I think it's more the color profile, because like actually if you look at everything as far as exposure is pretty spot on.
It's good, yeah.
So I think I was actually wrong with the ISO. I was just wanting to test it to see if it was the problem or if it's like the initial starting point, but I think it's really more the specific settings within a color profile that will make
it looks like a log or something on there.
Almost. That's what I'm wondering. Like it almost looks like it's
some people intentionally want that
profile.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Some people intentionally want their video to be like
exactly that. Because it makes it easier when you're editing and doing things after the fact rather than
even some people grading live. When they grade, they like it. Like, I have like different clients, they like their certain projects to be graded a little bit more like on the flat side. So right now,
what do you mean by graded?
Grade, like meaning color tweaking it, like go into
so the difference between yours and Nee, that's a color.
Yes, you see how the contrast is a lot higher on Nee's image.
Yeah,
his dark is richer. Yours,
it's like
your
the
dark
editing when you get into the editing.
Yeah, in post production. So great. Yeah, you can grade for live too. Yes, depending on the software, you have Ecamm, so you could technically also do some grading as well.
But it's just extra
we're getting in the
power,
weeds,
man.
You want to start as close as possible from the source, then tweak it if you want to tweak it.
Same with audio, John. That's a great point. Yes. Audio and video. I know for me, I just have a Logitech camera, but I got the software to unlock it. So the first two things I did is on the camera I put in 56K daylight, and then on my panels I dialed in 56K daylight right away, and then my starting point was very, very easy from there. But this is another rabbit hole, and we should go into this a little bit deeper, Raf and John, because you guys are doing video way more than I am. I'm knowledgeable, but not as much, but I'm helping clients with that too. But it will make a difference.
He answered his question, Sony ZV.
I do appreciate I do appreciate the input and feedback. I do want to, as we go forward, get more feedback on tips on improving my appearance for video. And I didn't really think too much about what effect I want in the end. For me, in an instructional mode where I'm going to be teaching English and explaining things, I might be off to the side and, saying, look over here, I've got this little chart, whatever. I don't want to be distracted by all the stuff in the back, but I also want it to have...
I like the globe. It makes sense for your context. I like the even the flags, and a little bit about yourself is in the shot. Your military background, or in the global the globe there is great. I love that. But
if
I do
you
think
look at all of us, it's just
the wall is very white, and it's almost like I'm fighting to see your face and the wall. Yeah. And so if we could,
you're definitely a history teacher, right? Tweak
something where it's because our eyes go to the brighter things typically on the shot. Where there's movement and the brightest on the shot, your eyes go there, and hopefully that should be your
brightness
face
all over me here. Right.
Well, here's a simple thing out there. If you just look at everyone's video here, when you look at each person, how do you feel? Like, it's just without anyone saying anything, automatically when people see, and being a teacher myself, it does make a difference, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just look at everyone's video, and there's a temperature, there's an emotion that pops out, and then you have to think, well, when I look at those, and when I look at how do I want my viewers to feel? And that literally is the temperature.
Maybe in the future. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no. I was just going to say, even like within what you're doing, like how you have everything now, you've kind of got two planes of focus. You've got you in the front and then your background behind you. And you've kind of got everything behind you all on that one same focal plane. What you could do is, if you wanted to try and play with that, if you have like a little side table and put your globe on that and put it even a little bit closer to you, but somewhere in between you and the wall, then you start creating some dimension. And if you think about things in that sense as well, not just having a background of things, but setting up everything around you and creating that kind of that play in between, can also be a way of creating the quote unquote set.
It looks like it's already on a table of some kind. If it's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I had to elevate a couple of things on some books. Like the globe is on a few books.
Which is good. You have your Oxford Dictionary there, which also, again, linked to what you're doing. Right now, your microphone is blocking that too. So if that's on the other side of the, instead of the lamp, maybe you see the globe on a lower table. I think that's what Rafael is. Rafael is saying that.
Put the globe where the flag is.
No,
on the separately where the lamp is.
Or even lower than the lamp.
Okay.
Yeah, like a little small coffee table or something.
Okay.
And then move the lamp slightly over so that they're not kind of all just on one line, like competing for that space. But if you play around with it, and it's one of those things, it's just going to take time, and you don't have to have everything locked in from day one. I mean, I know for me, I've been doing my project, this project with the sign behind me, maybe 8-ish years now. And it's getting to the point where I've got certain things, I know where I want them and I know how I like them, but I can still move things around and have fun with it. So you don't want to get bored. You want to keep it interesting for yourself at the same time. Even sometimes it's a great way of playing along with your audience and allowing them to kind of spot the differences as time goes on. Like, hey, there's that new thing there in the background, or hey, what happened to this, or what happened to that? What's this box coming up on the screen?
No, I was trying to illustrate the plane you were talking about, like this whole area, right? Your head, the light bulb, everything is in the same plane, on the same mid third of the frame. And I think what Rafael is saying is, if you could vary some of if the globe, ended up being, over on this area, for instance, maybe it would kind of change your focus here instead of just being on one plate. You don't want to change. Your head is great, but maybe play with the other objects around you so that it can be, so you don't see everything on one plane and then the rest is just a white wall, right?
So actually the plane thing a little bit more is in the three-dimensional kind of space. So think about it like
the depth.
depth rather than
Like
the
that.
space itself. Kind of, yeah, more or less. Hard to kind of show it in a 2D space, but
If this is like the far, this is the wall,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, I get it.
the bookcase, and this is you. So do you have like
exactly. And then, so even one other thing is, if you wanted, you could tilt your camera slightly down, just ever so slightly, but it's not something that you have to do.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. But
So that the angle of the camera is looking up towards me?
downward?
No. So that it's pointing down one drop more.
Down towards me.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
So
I mean,
John,
you can leave it at
if
the same height now, but point it down a half drop.
Okay.
But it's looking good.
You want to divide this into thirds, and then you want your eyes on that line right there.
You know, in his YouTube video, I'm just watching the YouTube video. It's you
There
could
you
actually
go.
you could actually see
Little bit
him
lower.
That.
pretty good.
But I think the tilting also would create a little bit of visual interest. You see the perspective is slightly different. So if you tilt a hair down,
if
or you need to go up and down too. Sometimes you want to tilt it.
Because that's the thing is tilting. You have to be careful with, because if for example, if you have the camera higher than your eye level and pointing down towards you, it can make you look short. And sometimes actually it's not necessarily a horrible thing to come off as not bigger than your audience, to kind of make them feel a little bit more visually comfortable and feel like they're kind of in a, not necessarily a position of power, but like that you're not coming off as intimidating, that you're this character that's hulking over them. But if you're at eye level with them, then you can create that kind of parallel that you're on the same level as well. There are all those like little, the just slight differences in
of
angle
composition.
and exactly.
The sense that I wanted to convey, I hope, is in a good way, a sense of authority, not in terms of commanding people, but much more though that I know my subject.
You know what? I almost think that I almost want to, this is my opinion. I think I almost want to, your authority is already there. I mean, I don't think you need to show that. I think from a learner standpoint, from somebody who's learning from you, I probably would want to have that friendliness of like, I'm not looking down at you. Let's chat. For me, I think it feels a little bit more welcoming if it's not get in the position where you're like a towering giant. Not that you're going to go there.
The other reason I want you to see the video is that I convey in that video a little bit more of my personality as I teach, which really reflects the way I talk to my community on Clubhouse or anywhere else. This is basically how I talk to them. As soon as I started rolling, I was able to edit some of the junk out. I was speaking in the way that I speak to them. Of course, obviously in Clubhouse and elsewhere, it's a lot more interactive and I get to really chat with the people and talk with them. But the tone, I think, came out and you'll see that. But whatever you think in terms of how I might want to present myself, that is in line with that sort of connection that I have with a lot of the people. Most of the people who are coming to my channel now are people that I've known for, in some cases, years. Who I have some connection with, but I'm also trying to expand it to a group of people who may not be familiar with me yet, but I want them to know me. I want them to know how and what my style is and what it is and how I'm different in terms of teaching English. It is, I think, a little bit different.
I'm gonna cut in and say something really quickly. We have a storm coming, like a really strong wind coming.
I heard.
And I was just told that the transformer just flashed. So if it goes out, you know what happens. Just want to warn you. But so with that said, I don't think obviously with your setup it's gonna change that much, even just like tilting down. I think we're talking about, in theory, it's not gonna be that dramatic for a talking head video. But I do, because I've watched your video and I understand, I feel like I want that friendly, it's the more personal side of you coming through, and how you maybe your shot is composed cleanly with no distractions and all that, and you sound clear and clean. Your environment has no distraction. You can't see, not to say cat's bed, but you know, like like other things like bedroom. Like I hate watching news where people are doing the interview in front of the bedroom, you know, like you can see the pillows and all that. You know, as long yours, I think it's great. I just think just fine tuning. I also think that John IT would be a great person to tap into. Also, if you want to come back, we can come back and revisit this with the bunch of input that we gave you.
Just thank you, everybody. I think this has been really useful, and I'll tweak some of the things I can tweak, and then I'll look into those adjustments that I can play around with.
Yeah, you can play with it, and next week we'll come back and we'll play with it some more and continue to improve. Like I said,
what you might want to do, Athar, as well as find someone who's kind of doing what you're doing and has the look the way you want it to, and then you have a frame of reference.
You know, I did do that, and I don't want to belabor this point and continue this discussion too long, but I tended to notice that their presentation was quite bright. You know, in fact, when I say daylight, sometimes it was literally during the day with a lot of light, sometimes maybe even outdoors. I'm kind of setting it up here. This is sort of my initial setup, but eventually I might want to go outside and use that, maybe get one of these.
So here's the thing. Take a screenshot of it so you can actually see it beside, because what you're remembering, because then you'll see the stuff, the color grade, the deepness of the colors. Once you get it and put it beside you, then you'll see, oh, yeah, there's a difference there, as opposed to remembering how it looks.
Okay. And John IT has brought up this multiple times about high key lights, like a broadcast, like an anchor, which is what my look is more like that, less dramatic. Even though I have a little bit of a shadow, it's mostly like a high key for me.
Yeah.
And
I have two light panels right there.
That's the look that I want, and you may have seen this. When we get to it, I don't want to go into it now, but when we get to it, we can talk a little bit more. Maybe John IT.
So this is what I look like without the lights.
Wait.
Beautiful,
where did Sean?
Beautiful, Sean. Beautiful, gorgeous.
You look like me, Sean. Without a light.
All right. Well, this is a great discussion. Let me see if we didn't go through every single thing, but we did talk about our DJI Mic Mini and DJI Wireless Mic 2 a little bit. Somebody else was holding up a microphone, and did we actually go to him? We did with Nee a little bit.
Yeah, you guys did.
Rob did too? Rob, did you have a wearable too? Or no?
I made one with a
you
little camera thing.
So that's
just like, Rob, your color looks great. It's a taste, and it's a taste thing. Some people might think it's a little bit bright, but as far as your colors and your blacks and everything, it looks great.
Oh, it's all computer done. It's not real.
Real quick, not to belabor what we're doing. Do you think an indie filter will solve his issue? Like,
I don't think we don't need. I mean, he's indoor.
If it were outdoors, then yes. Indoors, it's going to add more I mean, it's not that it wouldn't, but the thing is, he can take care of a lot of these problems without paying for an extra piece of gear. Yeah. I mean, because like already Arthur is starting out from a really, really great spot. I'm looking at the video right now. And I mean, again, like it's just barely simple things. And even I would say it seems like the camera might be slightly tilted, at least in the recording. I don't know about here. It's harder to tell because I'm also using a Rode prompter. I'm not Rode, whatever the Elgato prompter.
You got one.
That would be the next product.
Yeah, now Rode is going to make
tie it directly into the video caster. But even then, like again, looking at the file that's on YouTube, I think it comes down to kind of really some of the basic things that we talked about. And even, for example, if you could take the lamp that's on the left side, put it where the globe is, and then the globe on the other side, simple little things like that, because you don't need the detail of the lamp stand itself. And then you've got these Oxford books that are on the other side that you're missing a little bit. So as time goes on, again, like just you can tweak little things and it'll make a big difference. And with what you've got right now, I think it's really just playing around with the picture style and the specific settings inside of the picture style.
See what John is saying. John IT is saying, lighting darken the background a bit, as I was saying, and some bokeh on the lens when you get there.
Some what?
So it would be a type
Blur
of lens
the background
that introduce a little blur on the background, so it doesn't. So when it's out of focus, then it's a little bit less of your eyes do not go there as much. You're forcing your eye. So for instance, like my stuff is out of focus, right? So then my head pop out a little bit more because of that. And if it's all in same focus, then your eyes are going to all the stuff as well. It doesn't have to be this much. Mine is a lot because I like it personally this way, but it doesn't have to be this much.
You can also just put that effect on.
Well, I don't think it really needs to be done because here's the thing. If you're teaching a class, you're really putting your students in a kind of classroom sort of feel if they can see some of the things behind you. And on the recorded video that you have, there is a slight amount of background blur. It doesn't, in my personal opinion, and this is a subjective thing, not an objective thing. So if it's something that you like, it's great. But it also seems like with the type of lens that you're using and how close you are to the camera and how close the background is, you might face some challenges with trying to get more background blur than what you've got, at least
I think
through natural means.
Next time we can start by asking you more questions. So the stuff that you can start gathering for us is what lens do you have, and what is its what color is profile. The ISO color profile too, but what more importantly your ISO and your
and the light we
and
need
what
to
f-stop are you using too right now?
Okay. So I'm just
and your lighting, if you can find out the temperature of your lighting,
color
that would
temperature
help too.
And
I'm just using 2 key lights, the smaller of the 2 key lights, not the regular ones, but the airs, I guess they call them, the smaller squares, not the minis, but the $100 sets.
And what's your temperature at, Rob?
Oh, I can't remember. Let me see. It'll tell me.
For most people, they want to pick daylight 56.
I run mine at 700 or 7,000 because I like it at more of the blue instead of the yellow. And then I run mine at about 88%.
So check this out. So I'm at 56, but look at my percentage. I'm at 0.1%, and I'm getting this. If I go any higher, if I go to 0.2, it'll blow out.
Right, but I mean, if I lower it, it gets really dark in here.
Yeah.
So like your camera too. That's when the settings on the camera is also crucial, because you can control
really like virtually almost. I only have like one little light in this room. That's my main light, and it's really dark in this room. Otherwise, I only have one window. And so, yeah. So
the reason why I was saying, if we want to create the bokeh effect that John was referring to, I mean, not that we need to, but if we wanted to, that has something to do with your aperture. And aperture would be your aperture setting, and your f-stop of your camera would dictate that. But we can talk more about it when it comes. And I think that would be a fun thing for us to share all our camera settings too, wouldn't it?
That would be a good thing. I don't know much about cameras.
Even though sound check, camera check.
Well, here's the other thing. For God's sakes, people, do not sit with a window
behind you
during the day behind you.
Right.
Because it blows out. It always blows it out.
Use the window for light.
Fancy,
sit in front of the light and have the window coming towards.
Or side.
I got one of those lights that you guys were talking about the
barn door.
Barn doors, yeah. Very nice.
This one that you guys were.
Oh, Zhiyun. Yes.
Zivin 20, yeah.
It's the one with all the different colors, the rainbow of color ones.
Okay, me and myself can't do. Me and myself can't do 5600. We look washed out.
You can't do 56.
We thrive in 3600. Hey, that's a good tip.
Yeah, I needed it for this because as soon as I was able to unlock this camera with the software and I set it, told it what it was getting. And that's sort of the advantage. I know exactly what my lights are sending at 56, and then I could tell the camera you're receiving 56, and then
Yeah,
easy.
I think
It's actually
specifically referring
different-
to skin tone.
Yeah, it's because different skin tones will show up differently at different color temperatures. This was actually a major issue back in the film days with color film because darker skin tones really
green
were
is not good for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the thing. Like darker skin tones, just in general, were the color science, so to speak, was really geared towards a lighter skin tone. There are certain ways that you can work around that, but it's you have to work with kind of what you have and figure out what works best for you.
Yeah, watch what happens, Sean, when I go from 7,000.
Yeah, you look orange.
Down. See how bad I mean,
there's your tungsten.
I'm Donald Trump now.
There's your tungsten.
I didn't want to say, but like that was the first thing that I thought.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta put on a hat
because material.
But of course, if you have the light can also change color temperature as well. So if you have a light that will change color temperature, so you can play with that as well.
And it depends too, as we've talked about ad nauseum. You know,
I don't want to be nauseating.
Ad nauseum. Buying stuff on Amazon, it may look good in the picture, but then you get your lighting panel and you actually put it on 56K and then you look orange. That means the lighting panel is a little off.
Well, a lot of these panels that you find are just not accurate. And
that's why I spent so much time. And when I got these, I'm like, okay, because the fact that I'm only at 1% and it's so accurate, I'm like, okay, this is what I needed. And you know, I love that.
That's what I was saying about this little light that I got, this other one that's off camera right here. It has all that rainbow of colors that I can choose from, and I can bring in, and you know, it's like this $150 little camera. I can bring it in on the side and then use the barn doors to get the light the way I want. And then I use all that color that I can pick from. And that's how I get all the color that I want.
Oh, another thing for others to consider is maybe take pictures of like from where we're like things that we can't see, where your key light, your main light is coming from, and you know, is your key light also hitting your background, and it like just so we can understand where your lights are coming from.
It definitely is. Right now, I've got them kind of pointed out over me, and then they're going back also. Yeah.
So which you know, if you don't have a lot of distance, that your key light is also filling out your whole, which is not bad, but if you don't want it to be, then we have to treat it a little bit differently, right?
That's why you're getting a blowout on the back.
That's why your color light is also, you know, mixed in with everything else, and also it's also washing out your color light. So if my light is so bright, the back, see, if I don't have any light on mine, it's actually quite dark. You see how dark it is?
Yeah.
Because my light's only hitting me, and then when, so that the color previously, when I have light that leaks so much into my background, I
actually don't mind that at all. I like that. Just because the lighting on you is so good.
But what do you mean? What are you talking about?
If you like take the lights off and
yeah. So
it's a little bit more intimate.
Sometimes I do that. Like sometimes on TikTok I do that. Like
it's
when
intimate, John.
When,
yeah, when it's turned off my ceiling. Like,
when it's just like me, like or when I do sometimes when I live stream for my podcast, where my podcast typically have the backlight, I want to have like when we talk about just chit chat and not talking about the podcast, just kind of like a casual chat. I
actually really do like that because it's like, hey, it's nighttime, it's intimate, it's casual, like it looks.
And then when I talk about ghosts, you know, it would be a different color.
Learner to learner after dark.
So anyway,
exactly.
I think maybe in a few weeks we don't have to like spend some time kind of get all the information that you can collect, and then we can discuss this again. And if we want to, we can make a dedicated time just to talk about our video setup, which I think would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thank you.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll be here every Tuesday, mostly. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please do so, because some of you gotten my email saying that I can't do it next week. I forgot to tell you when I was live streaming. So you got an email saying that. Okay. So if you are new to this and if you haven't already signed up, especially if you haven't joined us live, if you've joined us through Zoom, I at least have a way to contact you. And if you've been watching this and haven't done that, if I have like a week that I can't do something, because I have a almost 20-year-old cat. Last week, I took the whole Tuesday off for my husband's birthday, thinking that we're going to do something. But Monday, my cat started to get sick. So he was sick for a whole week, and we're in and out of the vet multiple times.
What'd you guys do for the birthday, John?
I brought home a Costco pizza, which was very delicious,
and watch Netflix.
And
I have to admit that's actually something I miss from the US.
But anyway, if
rather than a real pizza from
it's
homemade.
But here's the thing: sometimes you need the real deal, and then sometimes you need to have some greasy pizza.
I like Panda Express.
That was a metaphor.
I like Panda Express. When I want Panda Express, I want Panda Express. You know, I don't always have
do you have pasta with sauce from the can? Come on.
So if you want to go to the website, learner2learner.com, and sign up for the newsletter, that way I can directly communicate with you. I have nothing to sell you. It's all about communication about the show. So like today, for instance, I sent you an email and I said, it's me typing. It's not like automated marketing thing.
I noticed that. That's why I responded.
If you reply to me, I get your message, even though I go through Kit, but it's all me writing. So anyway, yes. Rob,
John, is it snowing up there yet?
I don't know. I have to go check it out. I think it's supposed to snow at midnight, so maybe in an hour plus it'll start snowing.
We have no snow here.
It's very windy.
You might get thunder snow, which is like a really rare event.
We've actually gotten one last winter, but this one's supposed to be a blizzard. They say 'cause the wind is the more dangerous part of everything.
Yeah. Robert, that's our new classified weapon, just so you know, from Canada.
Thunder snow.
Sending thunder snow down. Anyway, thank you all for the conversations.
51st state.
Appreciate the two main conversations we have. We talk about the wearables microphones, as well as starting to tap into video as well. So we'll find a day where we actually dedicate the whole time talking about video. Thank you all so much. Thanks. Good to see you back here again, Sean. Whenever you have time, pop by. Rafael, thank you so much.
New song on all platforms. Just Google Sean Savage. Called Handles.
Well, there you go. Okay. Rob, thank you, Rob. Okay. Called Handles.
Handles. That's it.
Handles. Okay. All right. We'll
it's my song, but I'm working on my group stuff. We're mixing the album now. But
what's your name? We'll find you too.
Yeah, Sean Savage. I released it to test some mixing things to see how it sounds. So I just released a new song.
You got my email. Send me a link.
Just type Sean Savage into anything.
And of course, Athar, thank you so much for joining us all the time. And Nee, welcome back to the States and on your brand new Streamer X. Next time you'll be a Streamer X person when people ask questions about Streamer X. All right. I don't know anybody who uses Streamer X other than
Neither
you.
do I.
That might change though.
Now you know.
The next thing after the Rodecaster.
You remember? Okay, so another thing that I was starting to test out was the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys saw. I was like trying to test out putting a face to a thumbnail. I needed to do something that is very low friction because this is my hobby. I need to get it done very quickly.
As opposed to in the weeds.
But I wanted to do something beyond just text. Previously, it was just dates. Now I add titles. And then I wanted to do some humanity in there because they talk about thumbnails, so important to see like human face on there. So I tried it and it makes a difference. So I might try to do that. I like the
what you can do, John, ahead of time is take like a bunch of pictures of you in different poses, leaving different space around you for the text to be existing. And then you just like pop that out like one after the other and you just have them on a rotation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go listen to some of Robert's music because I haven't heard it yet. So
I found Sean Savage.
You found Sean.
Good. All right. Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you all. We'll see you next week for more conversation. Maybe we'll talk about the MV88. Not MV, the Move Mic 88 Plus. That was very interesting. Let's talk about that. Small portable, but not wearable. This week, wearable. All right. Take care, everybody. See you next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.